Hi friends, Jason here from Canada Dream, and let's build some value. Today I'd like to talk about why buy a Sunseeker or a Forester, give you some ideas and give you that competitive edge over some of the other units that you might come up against when you're working a deal. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Forester construction and give you a little history. So Forester and Sunseeker are the same product line, just doubled up in certain territories. I've sold the product for many, many years. And so I've been fortunate to be able to go through some training and learn the product as it evolves as well. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is the construction. Six-sided cage with all polystyrene block foam insulation, and then all vacuum bonded with a gel coat exterior. So why is this important? So first of all, lighter, stronger, more insulation. A 2-inch wall gives you about an R9 insulation when you do block foam insulation. Your roof system on this unit is also a fully vacuum bonded aluminum framed roof with block foam insulation. It's about 5 inches in depth in the middle of the roof, and then it crowns down to about 2 inches on the side, so water will shed off it and run into your drip rails. The second thing that I'd like to talk about is what they do with the chassis once they get it. So we've talked about this in other videos, but chassis from Ford gets installed Hellwig sway control. It's a high tensile sway bar that's installed under the rear of the vehicle. And what this does is it reduces body roll as you're driving down the highway. It just makes it feel better. It makes it feel safer, something that you can focus on. Also, they add a Bilstein shock absorber. They replace the factory shocks with a high quality shock absorber. It's just a heavier duty shock. And again, it's going to contribute to a better ride. And then finally, Ride Right airbag suspension. So there's airbags on both sides. And these are really helpful if you're towing something. You can reset your vehicle height, add some extra air into those to make that ride better while you're towing. Okay. Another feature that I really like, and you'll see on a more entry-level product, that they'll still take a piece of Phylon, they notch it out in the back, they often wood frame that front cap area, put some leftover batten pieces in it for insulation, and then they wrap that Phylon around the front of the coach, secure it at the top, and then seal it. And this is the number one area that motorhomes leak. And why? It's because that Phylon, as you're traveling down the highway and your motorhome is moving in lots of different directions and vibrating, that Phylon's always under tensile strength, and it's wanting to pull away. And so that's where you're going to find cracks in that sealant, and that's where you're going to find your leaks begin to occur. The Forester front molded fiberglass cap secures over top of the front of that vehicle, which again is aluminum framed with block foam insulation, but there's no tendency to want to pull away because it's just secured over the top and sealed there. And then another feature they do, and it's small, but it's something that it's hard to find in many motorhomes, there's a window on either side. Why is this important? It's because if you got two kids and you're sleeping on other sides, and especially in our Foresters where we stretch that cab over so you can put a bed on either side, each of those people have a window for fresh air, and it also promotes a cross breeze on those warm nights. Throw on your high performance fantastic fan or max air fan, and it'll cool that coach down nicely, and that area up top where heat rises will stay nice and cool as well. Another thing that we do is, even in our LE models, where if you were to order one straight from the factory or go to another dealership that sold Forester, any of the LE models are going to have a pressed membrane countertop. What we do is we upgrade all of our countertops and all of our all of our Forester products. If it's got a blue and red stripe on it, it has an LG solid surface countertop. Much better countertop. It doesn't scratch as easy. You can buff it out if it does. And if you put a hot pot on it, it doesn't harm it, versus a pressed membrane countertop, which will melt it, can't be repaired, needs to be replaced. It promotes the longevity of that coach and making it look better for years to come as well. We also do this in your Foresters, your red and blue units. When you flip open that step wall, you're going to see 2 cold weather AGM batteries. But we also put 200 watts of solar in all of our units with the 30 amp charge controller. So with that larger charge controller, you can upgrade your solar by just adding and piggybacking another panel without having to replace charge controllers or wires. What's really important about the 200 watts of solar is that you have a 10.3 cubic foot 12 volt refrigerator. So if you do the math on it, you got your 200 amp hours of battery power. Everything that you're bringing in solar to replenish those batteries offsets the draw from the fridge. So you have kind of there's no net loss of power with your fridge running, okay? So 200 watts of solar, make sure you focus on that with your clients as well. We also, at Canada Dream, one of the philosophies since this company started 31 years ago was our clients, if they have an issue on the road, they deal with it in such a better way if they've had a great night's sleep. All of our mattresses are upgraded. So gel mattresses in all of the main queen size beds, and most of them are an actual residential 60 by 80 queen size bed. And then our mattresses up top in our Foresters, because we've stretched that cap, put in 6 foot long residential mattresses. They're also a nice thick mattress to promote a great sleep. It makes camping so much better when you have a great sleep. And then one other final feature, soft closed doors and drawers. The great thing about this, and what I like to share with customers, is the drawers don't pop open when you turn a corner and your cutlery goes flying out all over the floor. Or if your kid goes to one of those overhead cabinets and goes to close it and they lose control of it and it slams against it, it will not do this on your Forester soft closed doors and drawers. If you guys need any information, make sure you reach out to one of your reps or myself personally. I'd love to talk with you all. Have a great day. Happy selling. Thanks for watching.